Hello. Today we're going to talk about initiatives and referendums, specifically in reference to the Arizona Constitution. We'll start by the basic definitions. An initiative is where voters can propose new laws or amend existing laws through gathering signatures from registered voters to put an issue on the ballot. Referendums refer to where citizens can veto a law or part of a law by collecting signatures from registered voters to bring it light to the issue and be able to put it on the ballot. How they're created. Initiatives is where a person or an organization puts an initiative in motion by collecting valid signatures from at least 15% of qualified voters for a constitutional amendment to be put on the ballot, and at least 10% of qualified voters for a statutory amendment. Signatures must be filed at the Arizona State Secretary's office at least 4 months before the general election. If enough valid signatures are filed, then what is being proposed will be put on the ballot for the general election for the public to vote on. With a referendum, a person or organization must file a statement of organization using the Arizona Secretary of State Campaign Finance filing system, or designate an existing non-candidate committee to act as the sponsor. Next is an application for a serial number with the Arizona Secretary of State's office. Then they must acquire the appropriate referendum petition. Next, the person or organization needs to ensure that any paid or out-of-state circulators have registered with the Arizona Secretary of State offices and then obtain signatures from eligible voters, then submit petition by the deadline for the review. In comparing and contrasting these two ideas or motions, the initiatives are created by the people, the citizens of the state, in this case, Arizona. They draft a proposal, attempt to get the issue on the ballot through petition, and then vote on it. This is usually to put a new statute or constitutional amendment on the ballot, whereas referendums come from the government, where legislators submits legislation for the citizens of the state to vote on. This is where citizens are allowed to collect signatures to ask people to vote to either uphold or repeal an enacted law. Both of these have pros and cons to them. So with initiatives, the pros are that this really allows the voices of the people of that state to be heard. The initiatives allow citizens to take an active role in shaping their community and their state. This also allows issues that otherwise might have gone unrecognized or unnoticed or were not acted upon to be recognized publicly. And if lawmakers fail to address an issue, this initiatives allow citizens to take things into their own hands. Now, the cons of these are that the language of initiatives can often be difficult to understand for the general public and can often be hard to vote on. The initiatives are usually funded by special interest groups, which can use their money to try and sway the public opinion towards voting in their favor. There's no room for compromise with initiatives. You either answer yes to everything or no, and there's no in between. So if there's an issue once the initiative goes into law, or if there's an issue with part of the initiative, there's very little that can be done about that. Referendum pros. Referendums engage national politics in the debate and the decision-making process. It allows people to really be involved in what's going on. Even if it's already been done, they can still have a say in if it stays or goes. Referendums can engage those in power to be more engaged and work harder so that they can be secure in where they stand. And referendums can be used to engage in support for a controversial topic or decision that many may not have otherwise been involved in. Cons of referendums is that it can be left open to individuals that can portray the choice between the status quo or change as false. Then this way they can seduce the voters from voting for it, so they can vote in the way that they want or not vote at all. And the campaigns for referendums can be divisive when just the thought of a slim victory might tempt campaigners to will tempt campaigners to use every argument they can so that the people will vote in their favor. These two things support direct democracy as stated and as wanted in the Arizona democracy in a few ways. Referendums give the citizens a direct vote on political, constitutional, and legislative issues that the state is facing. These are given by those in power, like the president or the cabinet members. And while decisions have usually been made in terms of referendums, the citizens have the power to ratify or repeal the decisions that have already been accepted. Initiatives are a direction for electoral vote on to take a specific stance on a political, constitutional, or legislative issue that the people have brought to the electors' attention. Initiatives are made before a decision can be made by the government and can even be adopted without the consent of the vote of the elected official. The people have a lot of power. These two processes support the idea of direct democracy because it gives power to the citizens. It gives power in their hands, and they can take an active role in shaping their government, shaping their state. They're able to have influence on these laws and issues that the government looks at, as well as recalling and repealing what has been passed before but no longer fits. This ties right into the Constitution and giving people the power to take hold of the issues and take hold of shaping their state and where they live and their communities. Thank you so much for your time.